This video is going to be a parts list and pricing for Guitar 12. Cut right to the chase. I jumped online, got on Amazon, added up the cost for all the parts for this thing, wrote them all down, added up, and I came up with about $427 for all the parts to build this guitar. And I'm just going to go through right quick and let you know how much everything costs. So all this pricing's pretty current. I looked it all up like a week ago, and I found pretty much everything. One thing I did not find is an identical neck. I found this neck in a mahogany, in a maple. Found about a dozen of them in maple, but I didn't find any mahoganies. But I originally paid like $59 for this neck. And that's what the maple ones are going for right now. You can probably find them on eBay for maybe, well, let's see. This was $60. Maple is $60. You can probably find a mahogany on eBay for $70. So you may be wondering why that $427 price point for the parts is so high. And what's going on is that half of it is the Nazgul and Sentient pickup set. The Seymour Duncan's in here. Yeah, these puppies alone are $218 out of that $427. So yeah, with cheap pickups, you're looking more like $200. Okay, the body wood is mahogany, and it came out of a 3/4 inch thick by 6 inch wide by 2 foot long blank that cost $23. They're sold in packs of 2 for like $45 or something. And the bridge is a clone of a Steinberger R-type trem, as best as I can tell. It's one of these Overlord of Music no-head bridges with the tremolo. And it's double locking, has tuners down here, thumb screw for the trim spring adjustment, and it has a built-in hardtail lock, which makes it really simple because you don't need any special wrenches or anything with this thing in order to adjust the trim spring or the tuning on it. So you can tune it up and get it to float, zero float. It's a full float bridge. You can tune it up, set it to zero float with this thumb screw, and you don't need any special tools. Then you just flip off the lock and you're ready to do the whammy thing. And this one cost me $48, but I think I've since found them online for as low as almost $30. But Amazon, every once in a while you'll find an extra good price on something, and then some days you'll go and it'll be all sold out and nobody will have it at any price. So yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. That's when you go to eBay. So a set of string anchors was $14. And let's see, truss rod cover was $3, and the Locknut was $5. And the hardware for the thumb screws and the inserts and the neck bolts and stuff worked out to about $3. Yeah, inserts are like 2 for a quarter, and thumb screws are like $1 a piece, and neck bolts are like 40 cents a piece. And as I said, this pickup set costs $218. And yeah, so that's a big chunk of the cost of the build right there. That was the most expensive part, with the neck being the second most expensive. Then let's see, the kill button was $20, for a TESI, but you can get a cheap kill button for as low as like 70 cents. Three-way switch, mini toggle for a three-way was just $1. Of course, you do have to buy like a 3-pack or a 5-pack or whatever, so you end up paying $3 or $5, but it's still $1 switch. In all cases, I went for like the lowest unit price. There, you can buy like, you can spend $5 and buy, 5 on-off switches, or you can buy 10 on-off switches for the same price. So you get 10, you use one, but you're spending $5 either way, and that one costs you less money. So I price things that way. Let's see. Yeah, the three-way was $1. The on-off was $1. The jack was $4. Strap locks were $5. And the strap was $6. It's just a plain poly black thing. And the Teflon tape on the back of the neck was 25 cents a foot, and I used about 2 feet, so it only cost 50 cents. Once again, it's something that you have a lot of parts left over because they only sell it in like a 100-foot roll for $30 or something. And then the finish on it, the lacquer, the spray can lacquer, I used 1 or 2 cans. I think I maybe used 2 cans, and that was $7 a can, so $14 for the lacquer. And that's everything, I do believe. Got the neck, got the bodywood, got the bridge, string anchors, Locknut, truss rod cover, pickups. Yeah, that's everything. $427 approximately. I'll post the list and the prices in the description. So now you know how much it costs to build one of these things in general, or at least this particular one. In general, it looks like nowadays, because these are all like, I priced this out like a week ago. So actually, I probably spent, I might have spent $35 on the bridge originally, maybe 40 something, but now they're up to 48. So yeah, it was like, a few years ago, you could put together a build starting at about $100. Now it's closer to $200, but $150 depends on how fancy you want to get. I was pricing out a relatively low budget build, and I think you can get away for about $100 still, maybe a little, 110, something like that. And then it's just a matter of how much fancier you want to get with, nicer bridges, nicer pickups, nicer whatever. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. So I'm going to be doing pricing videos for all of these builds eventually. So that way you'll get an idea of what it costs in order to take up this hobby. Anyway, everybody, have a good one. See you all in the next one. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.